Hey, welcome to Vance Tried It. Today, we're going to be making a no-bake cheesecake. And so we're going to just start off with one of the small 3.4 ounce packages of instant pudding. This is vanilla, and you could use vanilla. You could use, actually, the Jello brand has a cheesecake flavored pudding. But you could really use whatever flavor you want. We're going to use vanilla. To that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. This is real Mexican vanilla here. And then this is 3/4 of a cup of milk. We're going to put that all in the bowl. And we're going to use our hand blender. And we're going to mix this up. And then we're going to add to that 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese. Let's get this in here and try to splash as little as we can. And we're just going to continue to mix this up. Now that cream cheese was softened. That just means that I had set it out for a couple hours before doing this. If you try to use it with a cold block of cream cheese, it's not going to work very well. You're going to have a hard time getting this all mixed together. We're just wanting it to have one consistent texture and color here. Just like this. And it ought to be pretty firm, and it's going to look just like this. And now we're going to add to this 1 package of whipped cream. And once again, we want this to be thawed, so typically whipped cream is going to come from your frozen section, and this doesn't probably have to sit out quite as long as the cream cheese. If you set this out for 30 minutes to an hour, it's going to be nice and thawed out. And then let's just get as much of this whipped cream off of the spatula as we can. We don't want to leave any of the goodness behind. And now what we want to do is we're going to start off. Ooh, about lost some right there. Let's get that back in there. We're going to start off on our lowest setting, which is on this one called stir. We're going to start off with this. And we're just going to start incorporating it in here just a little bit. Because what we don't want to overdo is we don't want to overmix it. We're not trying to get this all mixed completely together. Really, all we're trying to do is we're trying to get it to where we can, I'm throwing stuff all over the place, but you know what I say? If you're not making a mess, you're not cooking. So we're going to just, really the whole point of that was to just get enough whipped cream on these beaters that the rest of the mixture is going to come off really nice. Because then what we're going to do is we're going to take our spatula. We're going to clean these beaters off just a little bit. We got to leave a little bit on the beaters because, I don't know about you, but one of the favorite things when I was little, when my mama was cooking and she was using the mixer, I got to lick the beaters, and it would get all over my chin and all that stuff. But boy, did I like being able to clean off those beaters for her. So we're just going to go ahead and take that out. We're just going to now use our spatula to just fold this whipped cream in here. And we don't want to overdo it. We just want it nice and incorporated. You just want it to where you don't see any really big clumps of whipped cream left over. And no big clumps of our cream cheese mixture left over. And once it looks pretty consistent all the way through, we're going to call that good enough. And now what we're going to do is, this is just a store-bought graham cracker crust. You can use just regular graham cracker. They have all sorts of these. You can get a chocolate one. You can get a pecan flavored one. There's all sorts you can get. This is just the regular graham cracker one. And now we're just going to put this filling right here in our pie crust. You can even make one of these pie crusts on your own. I have done that on numerous occasions before. If you're interested in making your own pie crust and you want to see how that's done, go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section. I would love you to do that. And if I get people asking me to show how to make my own graham cracker crust, I will certainly do that. And while you're down there, would you please just let me know, what is your favorite topping for a cheesecake? Now today, I can tell you, let me get that out the way. Today I can tell you what we're going to be topping this with is some blueberry filling. It's just a blueberry pie filling. I have it in the refrigerator because when I'm doing this, I like to have that to be cold along with this, because we're going to put this in the refrigerator and cool it off. And you don't have to get this perfectly smooth. In fact, I like it to have a little bit of texture in there, if you can see what I'm talking about there. And we're just going to put it in there. Make sure you kind of fill in the edges like that. And then give it a little texture. I like some texture on this. And then we're going to put it in the refrigerator for an hour or two. And here's the thing. You want to have that covered. And so here's the nice thing about buying the pre-bought ones. They come, this was in there like this, just kind of holding the crust together. But then, once you put the filling in there, you just flip it over. You put it on top like that. Just fold it over. Kind of like in 4 places, just like that. And now, you have a covering for it that is perfectly fitted to this pie crust. So we're going to put this in the refrigerator. And we're going to come back in an hour or two. And we're going to put some topping on it. And then we're going to dig in and see how it is. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes letting this set up. And as you can see, it is beautifully set up. It looks beautiful. I really like that texture on there that we left on there. And now you have some options. Now, if I was going to be making this for like some sort of a potluck, if I was going to take it somewhere, I probably would have put less of the filling in there. If I wanted to put some fruit topping on there, that way I could just put the fruit topping on there, put it in the refrigerator, let it all set up like that. But if I'm doing it at home, I like to have all the filling in there, even though it's heaping up. And doing it this way, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to cut a piece out. I'm going to put it on the plate. And on the plate, I would then put on the filling. Now, the nice thing about that is that your family then can choose what filling they want. You could have cherry and apple and blueberry and whatever pie filling you want out there and available. And each person can have their own topping on it. The other options are, of course, you can put some caramel or you can put some chocolate on there. I would recommend getting like the hot fudge from the store or this caramel, and you can put that on there. That's another way you could easily take it to a potluck or a family holiday, is go ahead and just put the caramel on there. You could even do caramel and the hot fudge and put it on there and make that a topping. But right now, today, what we're going to do is we're going to do this blueberry pie filling. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut us a slice of this. Just like this. And you can see how beautiful that is. And then we're just going to get in here. Now I have had this filling in the refrigerator, so it is nice and cold also. And you can put as much or as little of the filling on there as you want. And now we're just going to dig in. Let me give you a little look to see what it looks like. Oh, that is very beautiful. I'm just going to try a little piece without any of the filling on there first. Very good. It's light and fluffy. It has just the perfect balance of the tartness from the cream cheese with the sweetness from the whipped cream and the pudding, and that is so good. But now let's try a piece with the topping on there. And that just takes it to the next level. I really like a good cheesecake, and I like a baked cheesecake. And if y'all would like to see me try and make a baked cheesecake, let me know and I'll give it a try. But for a nice simple dessert that is so easy to put together and yet so tasty and so versatile too, I don't think you can go wrong with this no bake cheesecake. Hey, I tried it. You should too.